My name is Mohammed Al-Jazari. I'm Mustafa's older brother, and I'm here to speak about Mustafa's abuse in jail and other inmates that my brother and our good friend here mentioned, Eric and Sergio Diaz. So a few months ago, someone that goes by the name Sonic was stabbed multiple times by MS-13 members. And from what we know is these jails, your jail, those doors are operated electronically. So only an officer is able to open an inmate's door. Now, Mustafa recently was complaining about gang members being at his door. These are 3 trustee inmates that this happened in October, where they were banging on his door. They were shoving water from underneath his door. They flooded his cell, with the correctional officers standing idly by, laughing at the whole situation. For 3 trustee inmates to bang on his door, threaten his life for 30 minutes with no action from officers, it just shows you what kind of jail you're running here. That there's no order. That inmates that are gang affiliated are able to threaten Mustafa's life.
They told him that we're gonna get the door open.
They're telling him that the officers are gonna pop his door open, and they're gonna go in and they're gonna stab him. This is something that happened to another inmate about 6 months ago. That inmate is on release right now. He goes by the name Sonic. So Mustafa made a formal complaint to Captain Powell and Major Herlock. We came in with those concerns. We told them that, and Mr. Miletus, we informed them of these threats that my brother is getting, and their solution was to cover up my brother's window. So they said they're putting him in protective custody. Now, what is protective custody? This is what we know from Mustafa. He's sitting in the same jail, in the same cell, with the same inmates all around him. All they did was come up to him and they covered his door. They didn't move him to a different unit. They didn't move the other inmates to different units. The same inmates are in the same units. All they did was essentially block his view. So my brother is in solitary confinement. The only time he has rec, he's supposed to get rec 3 times a week. He does not get rec. When he files a complaint to the officer, they simply ignore him. So he's not getting his rec. He's sitting in the cell for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with his windows covered. He says, even at night when they turn off the lights, I can't even find the restroom. I can't even find the toilet. So when I'm going to the restroom, I have to feel my way around the cell to get to the toilet. So
he's innocent until proven guilty.
So this looks like punishment for someone that's filing a complaint with the officer. When you file a complaint and tell them that another inmate is threatening my life, you don't punish the person filing the complaint. You're supposed to address the issue. And they're not addressing the issues. They're punishing Mustafa for complaining. That's what they're doing. They're punishing, this is retaliation against someone that's complaining. Another thing I wanted to mention is that my brother, my brother had an accident on Wednesday. Now, the officer claimed that my brother told him that he did it on purpose, but my brother also had court for something unrelated the next day on a Thursday. My brother showed up to court despite being in a coma the night before, despite being in a hospital for over 6 hours in the hospital. He still showed up to court. It shows you what kind of person he is. If he had done something wrong, he would have ran away. You would have never found out where he was. And on Friday, when he spoke to the lawyer, he told the lawyer that he wanted her to accompany him to speak with Officer Drum. She called him back and she said, Officer Drum was extremely angry that you were bringing a lawyer and he does not want to talk anymore. So what does he do? He falsifies my brother's police report and obtains a arrest warrant based on false pretenses and arrests my brother. Now, my brother is not given bond.
In about 30 seconds.
My brother is not given bond, and he has no prior convictions. He has no criminal record. His driving record is clean. What are they basing their denial of his bond? I was in court, in the circuit court, and the prosecutor the entire time was arguing that my brother told the officer that he did it on purpose. Now we know that the officer lied. I recorded that call, and it's unjustified why he's still sitting in jail today. The Commonwealth Attorney knows that the officer lied, and yet they're still not acknowledging that my brother has a clean record. He's never done anything like this before. And he never said anything what they're claiming. And Officer Drum never read him his Miranda rights. So how can they use his statement in court?
We're done. We're here to hear about the jail concern, not the courts. All right. Well, thank you, sir.